as a huge believer in ghosts, I would be okay with this being my ghost outfit. I'm gonna find some wood to knock on because I don't need to get a Freaky Friday situation happening over here. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lonnie. If you're new here, we talk about a lot of fun things: spirituality, mental health, mindfulness, fashion, sometimes art. Lots of good stuff happening. Lots of good vibes over here. Today I really wanted to hone in on the topic of mindfulness. And I know I mentioned this quite a bit on my channel, but I don't think I've ever sat down and made like a full video about it. So mindfulness is basically the ability to be present without judging. It's being conscious and aware of your current surroundings and having the sense of appreciation for everything that is happening around you in the present moment. You're not worried about the future, you're not worried about the past, you're just here and you're just now. In theory, I think it would be so easy just to be like, I'm here now, but I think that our brains are always thinking in like many different directions, especially if you're somebody that suffers with anxiety or depression. There's actually a quote that I came across a few years ago that always stuck with me. But the quote was basically, anxiety is living in the future, depression is living in the past, peace comes from the present moment, and the present moment is really where mindfulness is found. We want to be able to appreciate and fully experience our life where we are, as we are. I'm somebody who absolutely can struggle with thinking too far ahead. I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead of myself, trying to kind of like plan things out and like know how it's gonna unfold, know where I'm going, know what I want, know what I need. So I can definitely say that finding ways to be more mindful has been extremely helpful in my life. And there's some kind of tips and tricks that I picked up along the way that have really worked for me, and I thought maybe they might work for you too. So welcome to this video. I cannot get behind this enough. I'm gonna sound like a skipping record when I say this because I'm sure you've heard this advice absolutely everywhere. Have you taken it though? Because if you keep hearing this advice, maybe it's a sign for you to listen to it. But being able to breathe, you know, when we're stressed, we actually don't breathe as much as we should be. So that's depriving your brain of getting oxygen. I'm not a doctor over here, but I'm assuming that doesn't affect your mental health in a super positive way. So making sure that you're getting enough oxygen to your brain, to your body, to your blood, taking a moment to be like, yes, life is chaotic, but you know what? I am here. This is my home. I live in a house, but this is my home. So being able to connect with your inner self and just give yourself, you know, the energy and the breath of life that you need to just kind of power through your day and know that you can get through this. Because the important thing to remember is that mindfulness is somewhat of a state of mind, but it's also a tool to help you navigate through life in a peaceful, self-aware way so that you can find happiness and joy here and now, but also in the long run. There are going to be things that happen to us, and there's going to be things that happen on a daily basis that we might not have planned for, but knowing how to navigate, wow, like that. How many of you have cats at home? Leave that in the comments below. Also, actually, while you're at it, please leave me a like, and if you're interested in this type of content and you love exploring topics like this, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you hang out with me more. But it is a state of mind, and it's also a practice, very similar to that of yoga and meditation, and those are my next two topics. I need to do more of this. I absolutely love yoga and meditation. I find it to benefit me very, very greatly. Sometimes it's hard to squeeze in during the day or to make it a priority, but I know that when I do it and I actually set aside the time to make that happen for myself, I feel 1,000,000% better. It's just another tool that helps me align with my mind, my body, and my spirit. And then I typically follow up my yoga session with a little bit of meditation at the end, so I can sort of let those benefits really sink in for me. I'm working my body, I'm feeling stronger, I'm feeling balanced. I'm teaching myself what balance means through the means of using my body. And then at the end of my yoga session, I will sit down and I will meditate for, sometimes it's only 5 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be this like overwhelming, like, and then I meditate for an hour every day. Like, if you can do that, so many props to you, because that would be such a cool thing to be able to do. I feel like I've got more free time, I'll do a 15 to 20 minute meditation depending on how my day is gonna go. Most days I typically find somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes still benefits me. And it's kind of getting in the practice of it too, getting used to it, teaching your body that this is what you do and getting into a rhythm and a pattern. But what I have found, and I wish that I knew where I found this, I think I honestly picked this up from a Dodie Clark video a few years ago, and I think she was referencing somebody else's video, so I'm not sure what the actual source is. And she was kind of applying it to more of like a creative sense, right? Like when you're kind of getting a creative block, you're just supposed to make a bunch of stuff. It doesn't have to be good, but just turn that creative faucet on and allow whatever to come out, and don't judge it. I think the same energy applies to meditation and mindfulness. At least that's what I found in my experience. If you're finding that it's really hard for you to turn your brain off, it's super difficult for you to sit down and just be, like it is for me sometimes. I found that sitting down, turning on that energetic faucet, allowing the thoughts to flow through you, just allowing them to come as they need, and not dwelling on them. That's different. If you're dwelling on them and getting into all this, you know, stressful thinking, that's kind of like the opposite of what meditation is supposed to do. But if a thought keeps coming into your head, or you keep thinking about things. I actually find that trying to get yourself to stop thinking and trying to force the energy of meditation does not help anybody. I've tried, and it doesn't do any good. What I've found to be the best thing that works for me is sitting down and allowing those thoughts to just flow through me. Acknowledge them, witness them, thank them for making themselves known and coming into your awareness, and then release them. Allow them to go. But there is a reason they came to you in meditation. Maybe it's something that when your meditation and your yoga time is sort of done, that you can come back to in a more conscious state and kind of reflect upon and say, why did this come to me? Is there something that I need to address? Is there something within me that needs to acknowledge whatever it was that I was thinking about? I often get a lot of very important insights about myself and the people that are around me when I meditate. It really just kind of clears out all the clutter and gives you the chance to have a lot more clarity into situations and into yourself so that you can sort of navigate in a more peaceful space in your life. For some of you, this might apply. For some of you, you might kind of just want to skip through this section. But what I find is dressing how I want to dress and expressing myself to the world in a way that I want to be perceived helps me feel more connected to myself, more connected to my soul and my truth. And in a way, it's a form of mindfulness for me. Every morning when I wake up and I do my makeup in a way that I'm like, yes, queen, this is my vibe. This is what I'm going for in my life right now. This is what I want to express and be perceived as in the world. I find a lot of mindfulness in decorating my avatar, my sim every day. Our time in our youth is so limited. Why not have fun with it while we can? And of course, it doesn't mean that you can only have fun when you're young. I'm gonna have fun all the way up until I'm in my 90s. I'm gonna keep dressing like this if I want to. I'm gonna be one of those cool grannies. I decided long ago, I'm really prepared to be a cool granny. I'm already getting gray hairs. I'm already getting ready for it. I'm not even kidding. I actually have like 6 gray hairs, and like one of my eyebrows I think has like some like white hairs in it too, so. I'm just ready to rock the granny stage. I'm gonna find some wood to knock on because I don't need to get a Freaky Friday situation happening over here. Every day when I dress how I want to dress, it helps me feel how I want to feel. And I always sort of think too, I think there's a quote somewhere else that I read. I am like full of quotes. If you're coming to my channel for the first time, please be ready for this because you're just gonna get quotes on quotes on quotes all the time. Basically, it was like, every day when I get dressed, I think about if I were to die today, and I know that's kind of morbid, but if I were to die today, would I be happy with this being my ghost outfit? As a huge believer in ghosts, I would be okay with this being my ghost outfit. And while I plan on sticking around on this planet for a very, very long time, I do often think that when I get ready in the morning, would I be happy with this being my ghost outfit? There's something to be said about the act of applying makeup and the act of fixing your hair and the act of presentation. It's not always superficial. It's not just like, ooh, I want to look hot for the world. Like I want to have people like think I'm a certain way. Like it's not like that at all. It's so much more about you being able to reflect who you truly are in an artistic way. Fashion is so artistic, right? Makeup is so artistic. Being able to reflect who that is in a creative way, in a creative force to the world, and just kind of have like this little, kind of like your body is like a little bit of a billboard, right? To sort of represent like who you are inside. Not always, not always. I think, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Another mindfulness tip that I have is eating. 90% of serotonin in your body is actually produced in your gut. So if you think about it, you genuinely are what you eat. Our hormones, our vitamin and mineral levels, they do affect our moods and they do affect our mental states. Putting good things into your body and being mindful about how your physical body is going to affect your mental and spiritual health. I was vegetarian for 2 years, and while I really enjoyed it and I felt like I was doing good for the environment and the world, it was really difficult on my body. I actually couldn't maintain that lifestyle from a health standpoint. I also wasn't working with a nutritionist or anything like that. So I didn't really have the resources at the time to probably help me create a lifestyle that would have helped me get all the things that I needed from my diet. But I think the important takeaway from this is that everyone's different. Everyone's unique. Everybody operates a little bit differently. I find when I eat a lot of pasta, I feel anxious and depressed. Doesn't mean that I don't love my mac and cheese. Don't get me wrong. Classic noodles and butter. Oh my God. But do I want to eat it every day? Definitely not, because it will make me feel really icky. So for me, I find that when I eat a lot of vegetables, I make sure that my diet is really diverse. I feel really good. I have so much energy. Eating a diet that's high in fish is actually pretty helpful for me as well. I'm not sure if it's the omega-3s or the oils that come from it, but I always feel like I have a lot of energy and I'm functioning on a really good level and I'm staying in a really good headspace. One of my favorite tarot card decks has a question. I forget which card it is. If I can find the card, I'll post up a picture somewhere over here. One of the quotes is, how well do you treat yourself on the journey to your highest dreams? Are you only telling yourself that you're gonna be happy when? When you have that apartment, when you live in this city, when you have this friend group, when you have that body, when you have that spouse, when you look a certain way, when you have this much money. How many of those things have you told yourself? Now I want you to think back and think about some of the things that you have now that one time you used to wish for. Did it make you feel whole? It might have for a very brief moment. There might have been a brief moment in time where maybe you got that new car. I got a new car this past summer, for example, and I was so over the moon about it. I was so excited. I felt really good about it. I was like, yes, I got a new car. And I still, like, every time I get in it, I'm like, yes, thank you for my car. I love my car so much. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the world. world. However, it does not make you whole. It doesn't bring you complete and total fulfillment and joy. That comes from within. It doesn't matter how well things are looking or going for you in your life on paper or from the external world's view. It really depends on how healthy you are on the inside and how fulfilled you feel on the inside. And for me, that's what mindfulness is all about, is creating a really beautiful inner temple where you feel like you're in alignment in here, and so that you're creating what's in alignment out here in the world around you. My last mindfulness tip is that you are the 5 people you spend the most time around. Take a very honest look at the people that are in your life right now. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your friend group, maybe it's your spouse. What is their mindset like? Are they negative? Do they talk a lot about themselves? Are they codependent? Please keep in mind, by the way, that absolutely nobody is perfect. Nobody's gonna come into your life without flaws or without things that they're working on. We are human beings. We are not meant to be perfect. But acknowledging our flaws and acknowledging our weaknesses is one of the most valuable things that I've been able to do as a person, and I'm still continuing to do every single day. I don't claim to be perfect at all. Definitely not. But we want to surround ourselves with people that are conscious. There might not be energies that align with you anymore, and that's 1,000,000% okay. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you don't like them. We're all allowed to sort of ebb and flow in life. I'm the kind of person that believes that friendship is one of those things that you don't have to be like around each other 24/7 to know that you're friends. I think that's a little bit of a codependent mindset. You can still love people from a distance. You can still like live your own life and then come back and know that your friendship is intact, even if it's not so wrapped up anymore. We are not stagnant beings. Not all of us are meant to stay in the same space forever. And giving yourself permission to grow is, I think, very important. So making sure that you're surrounding yourself with really good, beautiful, wonderful people that may be human beings as well, know that they could be flawed. We're all flawed, every single one of us. But having the mindset and the intention and the curiosity to want to change and grow and learn and progress is extremely important and can help you in so many ways. And surrounding yourself with people that want to lift you and that you also want to lift. Chef's kiss. So thank you guys so much for watching this video about mindfulness. I hope it helped you on your mindfulness journey. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up or even subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, so give me a follow. Let's hang out other places. Let's be friends. Tell me what your mindfulness journey looks like for you guys. I'm really curious because I feel like everybody has their own way of going about things, and what works for me may or may not work for you. But I want to know what it is that you use to create a healthy, positive, present space in your daily life. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was so wonderful hanging out with you. I hope you have an amazing and beautiful and wonderful rest of your day. Bye.